Sean Floyd, a scrawny white boy, gets ready to go on a trip with his best friends Donnie and Jeremy. Little did they know that in search of pleasure, booze, and boobs, they would get into such big trouble. The story begins as Sean and Donnie go to Jeremy's place, where he is engrossed in an unusual activity involving a fishing pole. Witnessing whatever that was, Jeremy shows them his ID to buy booze, guns, and a sharp knife. They start packing, and to Donnie's surprise, he finds a female undergarment in his bag. Unbeknownst to them, their bro trip gets ruined because Donnie's ex-girlfriend Sarah and Becky also tag along. Donnie becomes angry as he wanted to spend time only with his bros and hoes. Seeing this, Sean tells them to shut up and get along with each other. After they leave, Sean tries to talk to Becky because he has a crush on her, and luckily, she just broke up 17 hours ago. However, being a loser, Sean can't say a word and sits silently in the car. They reach a gas station to buy booze, and Jeremy gives the cashier the fake ID, which surprisingly works. After buying the booze, they go to their campsite and get their bags ready. Deep in the woods, Jeremy takes naked selfies of himself to send to his imaginary girlfriend. After reaching the campsite, Sarah finds Becky looking at her ex-boyfriend's pictures. Seeing this, she tells her to hook up with Sean since she also has a crush on him. Outside, Donnie and Sean set up the tent, and Jeremy gives Sean a glow-in-the-dark protection, just in case. Sean accepts the offer, and they start drinking. After a 4-hour-long drinking montage, Jeremy goes to take a piss in the mountains. While practicing his knife tricks, he accidentally cuts off his own dick. Sean and Donnie rush to Jeremy's rescue and get him back to the camp. After reaching the campsite, Sean goes to find a signal to call 911, and Donnie and Sarah go to find Jeremy's severed body part. Sean finds a signal and calls 911. After the call ends, Sean, being the jerk he is, throws all the phones off a cliff. On the other side, Sarah and Donnie retrieve Jeremy's severed part and go back to the camp. In this messed up situation, they do their best and sing a Britney Spears song until the helicopter arrives. When the helicopter arrives, Donnie gives them the packaged body part, and they take Jeremy to the hospital. The next morning, while Jeremy is in the hospital and the guys go to get a beer, they open the cooler and realize that Sean gave the paramedics the wrong cooler. Panicking, they decide to hike back down to the car and drive to the hospital themselves. The catch is that they have only 12 hours because afterward, the package can't be reattached. On their hike down, Becky spots a cabin, and they break in hoping to find ice or a phone. Underneath the sink, they find a rattlesnake. Becky throws the cooler at it, the snake bites the package, and slithers off. Realizing they need to suck out the poison, Sean steps up to do it, as he's the one who lost the phones and gave the paramedics the wrong cooler. Everybody waits outside while the deed is done, and they notice a drone. Running back into the cabin, they find Sean in the act. After it's done, they follow the drone, and Sarah jumps off a cliff into the water, followed by the rest of the gang. Sean, trying to impress Becky, slams into the water, turning his back completely red. They see the helicopter return to the camping site since the doctors realized they were given the wrong package. However, the guys had left. They find an 11-year-old boy controlling the drone, who informs them that his father went away briefly. They also notice a boat in the water. And when they ask the boy if they could borrow it, he tells them he'll give them the keys, but he wants to see something, looking at Becky and Sarah, that little snot. They tell him they're not going to flash him, which is when he tells them he's not talking about flashing, he wants to see them do it. Damn, they call him a pervert. And as he walks back to his tent, Sean and Becky scare the boy, telling him that they'll cut off his package, too, and steal the keys to the boat. As they get on the boat, the boy's father comes back and chases them. But after a perfect hit to the head with a can of beer, "Thank you, Donnie," they get away. When they get back to their car, the gang races back to the gas station where Jeremy bought the alcohol on the way there to try and find some ice and stuff to clean the package with. When the store owner overhears Donnie and Sean talking about cleaning the package, he tells them he knows exactly what to do. Somehow he has seen it before. And when they tell him it belongs to Jeremy, the ex-soldier, he tells them he'd be glad to clean his package. He cleans it superbly until it's better than new and puts it in the cooler, giving it back to Donnie. This is when Donnie flashes his high school ID, and the owner goes crazy. When he realizes Jeremy isn't a soldier at all and that they're underage, he chases after them and gets a bow and arrow from his trunk as they drive away and manages to hit Donnie in the arm through the car seat. They drive to the hospital, but when they get to the first one, Jeremy's not there. So they try another one, where they're greeted with open arms. Since everyone's been waiting on the package. While waiting for the operation to be finished, Sean and Becky open up about the crushes they've got on each other, as if any of this matters when a man's member is at stake. And you know what? I'll bet you any money that they sew it on upside down. When the doctor comes back, he tells them the surgery went as well as possible, and their friend is going to recover all right. But when they go into the room to meet Jeremy, it's some other guy. That's right. They attached Jeremy's package to some other guy because somehow there are two guys in the same hospital with the same problem. But wait, Jeremy's not in this hospital either. Everybody gets more stressed than they were already, and Donnie and Sean have a fight. So Donnie tells Becky about how Sean texted her ex, and she gets mad at him. Later, while sitting outside, Donnie and Sean overhear two workers talk about a package they found in the sewer, and they realize that must be the other guy's package. A lot of good package Samaritans. They run back into the hospital and sneak into the other missing package guy's room, and he's now awake. They explain exactly what happened, and when he looks at his package and yells at the doctor for giving him an ugly package, the guys tell him about their friend and how he should respect the package. And so now this guy gives them his blessing to use his package for Jeremy. And he tells them about how he lost his package because his girlfriend cut it off after he cheated on her with her sister. Oh, my God. This is when his girlfriend walks in apologizing, and they make up. The guys walk outside to go and get the other package, which is when they hear screaming. And when they go back inside, the guy's ex cut off his package again. They fight her, and after she tries flushing it down the toilet, Donnie gets it out with his mouth. And they finally have Jeremy's package again. The boys walk outside to meet the girls, and this is when Becky's ex arrives to pick her up after she called him. So Sean gives her the package to go to all of the other hospitals in the neighborhood and look for Jeremy. Not use one hospital's phone to call them all. No, just go and look for him. And just as she's about to leave, he tells her about how much he liked her and how she deserves to be with someone that respects her. Yada, yada, yada. Becky changes her mind on going back with her ex, so they all leave and ditch him, which is when they realize why they couldn't find Jeremy before because of his fake ID. Oh, God. So they call the first hospital they went to asking for his fake ID name, and he was there the whole time. They race off to the hospital, and after fighting multiple nurses and security guards going through restricted areas, they get the package into the surgery room just in time. While Jeremy is getting surgery, Donnie and Sarah make up and get back together. And Sean and Becky kiss. Or at least they were about to, until Sarah remembers where Sean's mouth has been. And they decide they should probably wait a couple of days. And after a lot of hydrogen peroxide, we cut to a couple of days later as Sean is getting ready to leave for Germany again, when Becky, Sarah, Donnie, and Jeremy, who is fresh out of the hospital, come to visit him. And Becky finally gives him his kiss, which turns into a full-blown making out as a parting gift. The end. Normally, I would ask you if you had any crazy camping stories, but I highly doubt that even if they were real, they could top any of this nonsense. But what did y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next recap. Until next time.